Okay, picture this. A friend calls you, completely frantic. She's just walked into another friend's house and found a body.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And the place is turned upside down, kitchen cabinets wide open. But here's the really weird part. It looks like nothing, absolutely nothing was actually stolen.
Hmm. That's immediately strange, isn't it? Sets a very unsettling tone.
Exactly. Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're digging into a really complex, chilling murder mystery. One that completely stumped investigators for a while.
Right.
We're talking conflicting stories from witnesses, clues that just didn't add up, and this, desperate race to find a killer.
And our source material for this is fascinating. We're drawing from excerpts of The Coffee Can Killer.
Right.
It gives you this incredibly detailed view, pulling from actual police calls, witness interviews, even interrogation tapes. You really get into the nitty-gritty of how an investigation like this unfolds.
It really puts you there. So our mission today is to unpack all those layers, follow the twists and turns investigators faced, and figure out how these seemingly unconnected clues eventually pointed to a shocking truth. Okay, let's unpack this.
Let's do it.
So it all kicks off
Mm-hmm.
April 8th. Akron police get this panicked 911 call. It's Sarah Evans.
Mm-hmm.
She's found 69-year-old Benny King dead in his home. And right away, there are these major red flags.
Like what?
Well, the back door was unlocked. Sarah insisted Benny never left it unlocked. Ever.
Okay, that's significant.
And also, weirdly, the front door was unlocked, too.
Hmm. Double anomaly. And upstairs. What did she find?
It was horrific. Benny King had been stabbed 33 times.
Oh, 33 times.
Mostly head, neck, upper body. And the scene, well, it suggested a major struggle, defensive wounds on his hands, clear signs he fought back.
Yeah, police figured he was probably attacked in his bedroom first, so the bed was soaked in blood, and then maybe crawled out into the hallway.
Exactly, where the killer likely finished the attack. It's brutal.
Terribly brutal.
But then you go downstairs, and it's just confusing. Kitchen cabinets thrown open, looks like someone tore through the place looking for something.
But nothing taken.
That's the thing. Nothing obvious seemed missing or even really moved around, other than the cabinet doors being open. It just didn't make sense. If you're searching, why take nothing? What does that suggest?
Well, from an investigator's view, that's a huge pointer. It suggests the killer wasn't after typical valuables, TV, electronics. They were likely looking for something specific, something hidden.
Right.
And the chilling part, police didn't know it yet, but this exact scenario, the ransacking, nothing obviously gone, was basically a signature. It would show up again weeks later.
Wow. Okay, so police turned to Sarah, the friend who found him. Who does she point them towards initially?
She gives them a few names right off the bat. First, these two brothers, Justin and Johnny.
Okay.
Apparently, they visited Benny often, but there were, quote, ongoing problems.
Problems like what?
Well, the latest blow-up was pretty serious. Benny apparently chased them off his property with
Right.
a shotgun.
Whoa. Okay, so serious problems. Any idea what they were about?
Yeah, since Justin had some drug issues, was always needing money, and there were rumors he'd stolen from Benny before, pawned his stuff. That was supposedly the root of the arguments.
Okay, so that's suspect 1 and 2. Motive seems clear there. What else did Sarah offer?
Suspect 3 wasn't a person exactly, but a vehicle. A suspicious gold Hummer.
A Hummer. Like a big one.
Yeah, she described it as an older-style, big-body gold Hummer seen around the time Benny might have been killed. Apparently it sped off, came back, then sped off again. Really erratic.
And someone saw the driver.
Yes, but here's the catch. The witness was this younger white guy who was himself avoiding the police, had outstanding warrants.
Ah, so how reliable is that? Do police even pursue that kind of lead?
They often have to try. Sometimes you make deals. And this guy apparently was willing to talk because, Benny was well-liked. People were upset.
So what did the fugitive witness say?
He gave a time frame, saw the Hummer between 10:30 a.m. and noon, which fits perfectly between Sarah's visits to Benny's place.
Okay.
And he described the driver. White male, blondish short hair, kind of CW cut, that very short, almost military style.
Yeah.
Mid-20s to early 30s. And he specifically mentioned the tires squealing as the Hummer tore off. Pretty specific details.
Very specific, especially the haircut. And then what?
Then, almost like something out of a movie, a neighbor overhears this whole conversation with the police.
Seriously?
Yeah, and the neighbor says, "Hey, I know a guy around here with a Hummer like that." Described it as rough, dusty gold.
No way.
And get this, the neighbor says the guy's nickname is Jaybird.
Jaybird. Okay, follow that away. So we have the brothers, the Hummer, potentially linked to Jaybird. Who's next?
Suspect 4 crashes onto the scene, literally. It's Patricia, Benny's daughter.
Oh, wow. How did she react?
She arrives and immediately starts accusing Sarah Evans, the friend who found the body,
Accusing her of what?
of stealing from Benny. She says Sarah was handling his bills but taking his money, not paying them properly. Claims Sarah needed cash for a drug fix, and Benny's accounts were late or short for months.
Wow. Okay, so a completely different angle.
But then Patricia says something absolutely critical. She's upset, angry, and says, and his money better still be in there because I know exactly where it's at.
Where?
Where it's in a cabinet in this kitchen and a coffee can.
A coffee can.
Bingo! Suddenly those ransacked kitchen cabinets make perfect sense.
The killer wasn't just trashing the place. They knew about the coffee can stash. They were looking for that.
Exactly. That one comment cracked the mystery of the kitchen wide open. It gave them a specific target for the search.
So, okay, let's recap.
Okay.
Police have the brothers, Justin and Johnny, with a history of conflict and money issues. They have a mysterious gold Hummer, possibly driven by someone nicknamed Jaybird. They have Sarah, the friend who found him, now accused of stealing. And Patricia, the daughter, pointing fingers at Sarah but also revealing the hidden cash.
It's a messy picture. 4 potential suspects, conflicting stories, and a very specific violent crime scene. The pressure must have been immense.
Absolutely. And then a piece clicks into place regarding the Hummer.
Right. Detectives discover that Justin, one of the brothers, his nickname is Jaybird.
Ah, so the Hummer sighting points directly back to one of their original suspects. Things seem to be lining up against Justin.
Yeah, so they bring in his brother Johnny first.
And?
Johnny seemed genuinely shocked by Benny's death. He confirmed things were bad between Benny and Justin. Said Benny had actually physically pushed Justin away and told him he ain't been allowed around down there anymore.
Okay, reinforcing the conflict. So what about Justin himself? How did his interrogation go?
Surprisingly, he seemed very calm, collected, leaned forward, made eye contact.
Really? Not nervous.
Didn't seem to be. He denied the murder flat out. Spoke about Benny almost like a stepfather, said Benny was always good to him.
Did he admit to the arguments, the money issues?
He admitted they argued about money, yeah, but kind of brushed it off, said it wasn't a huge deal.
Okay, but what about the key piece, the Hummer? The Jaybird connection.
That's where it got interesting. When they asked him about owning or driving a gold Hummer, Justin laughed.
Laughed.
Yeah, he joked about it, said he wished he had a Hummer. His reaction just didn't seem defensive or like he was hiding anything about the vehicle. It felt genuine.
So the detectives felt he was maybe telling the truth about the Hummer, even though the nickname matched.
It certainly raised doubts. Those nonverbal cues are huge in an interrogation room. If he's not the Hummer driver, then who is? It forces investigators to reconsider, even when a lead seemed strong.
Right. And did Justin offer any alternative theories?
He did. He actually pointed the finger right back at Sarah Evans.
The friend who found the body.
Yep. He said something like, she knew she took friend bank card to the bank food stamps, my brother was telling me, implying Sarah was the one mishandling Benny's finances.
So now Justin is accusing Sarah too. That makes 3 people. Patricia, Johnny, and now Justin.
Exactly. All 3 had independently told police that Sarah was taking Benny's money, supposedly for bills, but maybe pocketing some. Johnny even said Benny called her a thief and banned her from the house.
And crucially, Sarah was the only one left, besides Patricia maybe,
Yeah.
who definitely knew about that coffee can money.
The suspicion really starts to mount on her at this point. The convergence of accusations is powerful.
So they bring Sarah back in.
6 days after the murder, yes. She admitted taking $40 from Benny once, but insisted she paid it back, claimed the whole thing was blown out of proportion.
Trying to minimize it.
But then the detectives asked a question that just changed everything. They asked if she had any other children.
Okay. Why that question?
Not sure the exact reason, but her reaction was immediate and intense. She reportedly tensed up, got very closed off, took a sharp breath in.
A physical tell.
A big one.
Tough.
And then she revealed she did have another child, a son, named Jason.
Jason. And what about him?
He had, quote, just gotten out of prison.
For what?
Robbery.
Robbery. Oh boy, okay, new theory time.
Instantly. What if Sarah, maybe accidentally, maybe complaining, mentioned the coffee can cash to Jason?
Her son, the recently released robber.
Exactly. He might see Benny, an older man living alone, as an easy mark.
And the gold Hummer.
Could have been a stolen getaway car. Doesn't have to be Justin's. It completely reframes the Hummer clue.
So the whole investigation potentially pivots right there, based on one question and a tense reaction.
Precisely. It shows how quickly things can shift.
And just as they're starting to look into Jason,
Oh.
a bombshell. From inside the prison Jason just left.
Right. An inmate contacts the police, says he knows who killed Benny King.
Who does he name?
Jason. He says he overheard Jason on the phone with his mother, Sarah, arguing. And after Jason thought he'd hung up the phone,
Oh no, what did he hear?
he heard Jason say something like, "It wasn't supposed to go that far," discussing the murder.
Wow, that's pretty damning. Basically an overheard confession.
It cemented Jason as the prime suspect for Benny's murder. Circumstantial, yes, but incredibly strong.
But the story doesn't end there, tragically.
No, it doesn't. Fast forward a few weeks to May 21st. Another welfare check requested in Akron.
Who this time?
A man named Gary Ballas. His son, George, called it in. Neighbors hadn't seen Gary in days.
And when police arrive?
They found Gary Ballas deceased inside his home. It was clear he'd been dead for several days.
And the cause?
An abundance of stab wounds, horrifyingly similar to Benny King.
Oh, man. And was anything else amiss at the scene?
Yes. Gary's car, a distinctive blue Subaru station wagon, was gone, missing from the driveway.
Okay, so another stabbing death and now a stolen car involved. What did the neighbors say about Gary?
They confirmed the car had been missing for maybe over a week, even though they knew Gary had been home. They also mentioned seeing a new guy hanging around Gary's house recently.
But couldn't identify him.
No clear ID, just this unknown presence.
Did they get any leads on the car?
They did find surveillance footage from a gas station nearby showing Gary's Subaru.
Great. Could they see the driver?
Unfortunately, no. The quality was just too poor. A common frustration in investigations, you have the car on camera, but no face.
So how do you connect the car to the killer then? You need someone to place them in it.
Exactly. And that break came from another witness, unnamed in the reports, but crucial.
What did they say?
This witness came forward and said they'd seen Gary's Subaru, and that the person who had it now was named Jason.
Jason Shockley, Sarah's son.
That's the one. The witness said Jason Shockley now had the car. And not only that,
What else?
Jason had apparently asked the witness for a ride in the Subaru, claiming Gary had lent him the car.
Lent him the car. What was the story?
Jason claimed Gary was going away to Florida and had lent him the car and, get this, a credit card to buy gas and cigarettes.
A credit card too?
Yeah.
Okay, that connects Jason not just to the car, but potentially to a financial motive again.
Absolutely. Suddenly, Jason is linked directly to the second murder victim, the stolen car, and stolen credit cards.
The two cases just slammed together at this point.
Yep. They converge completely. Jason Shockley becomes the prime suspect in both stabbing deaths. The ransacked house in the first murder, the stolen car and cards in the second, it all points to him. The MO starts to look terrifyingly consistent.
So time for an arrest. How did they find him?
It was actually Sarah Evans, his mother, who made the final call.
She turned him in?
She gave the police the address to Jason's safe house, an abandoned, boarded-up building he was hiding out in. It must have been an incredibly difficult call for her to make.
I can only imagine. So SWAT moves in.
Yes, described as a vigilant entry. They found Jason inside, lying amongst rubble and trash on the second floor.
And did they find evidence there?
They did. A search turned up multiple knives and, crucially, Gary Ballas's credit card.
The stolen credit card.
Yeah.
That seals the link to Gary's murder pretty tightly.
Very tightly, so they take him in for interrogation.
How did that go? Did he confess right away?
No, initially he denied everything about the murders. He stuck to the story that Gary lent him the car, said he only used the cards for small things, gas and cigarettes.
So the same story he told the witness.
Right. But the detectives had a plan. They had stronger evidence for Gary's murder, the card found on him, so they focus on that first.
The idea being, get him to crack on that one, and the Benny King case might follow.
Exactly. Make the second confession seem less monumental once he's admitted to one killing. And as they presented him with the facts, the evidence, his demeanor changed.
How so?
He reportedly lost his confidence, started fidgeting, wouldn't make eye contact, almost looked ashamed. Classic signs the pressure is working.
And then came the confession.
Yes, but in a really bizarre way. He asked them to turn off the audio recorder.
Thinking that would make it truly off the record.
Apparently so. He clearly didn't realize or forgot there was also a video camera recording in the room.
Oh, wow. So he confesses on camera thinking he's not being recorded.
Precisely. He admits to killing Gary Ballas. He described an argument supposedly over $20, said Gary insulted his mother.
The same trigger as the argument with Benny. Or alleged argument.
Well, the alleged insult to his mother is the trigger he claims for Gary. He said Gary threw a cup, Jason pushed him. Gary dropped a knife he was holding.
He's claiming self-defense then.
That's the implication. He said Gary dropped a knife and then Jason stabbed him. His exact words were apparently something like, shoot when he went, suggesting it was quick, reactive.
But the prosecution didn't buy the self-defense angle for Gary's murder.
Not at all. Their theory was Jason got irrationally angry when Gary wouldn't let him use the car. He pushed Gary down, killed him, then stole the car and the credit cards. Premeditated robbery murder, essentially.
Okay, so he confesses to Gary's murder, albeit with a self-defense spin. What about Benny King's murder? The first one.
He absolutely refused to admit to that one. Just kept saying, I didn't do Benny.
Even after confessing to killing Gary, why deny Benny's murder so stubbornly?
Well, think about it. Confessing to one murder, maybe trying to frame it as self-defense or a fight gone wrong, that's one thing.
Right.
Confessing to two brutal stabbing murders weeks apart with similar elements like searching for money, that paints a picture of a serial killer. Much harder to argue self-defense or lack of intent then. It makes him look calculated.
So admitting to both would destroy any chance of a lesser charge or sentence.
That seems the likely calculation, yes. He probably figured he could argue the Gary case, but admitting to Benny, too, would make him look like a monster.
And the prosecution's theory for Benny. How did they tie Jason definitively to that first crime scene?
They argued Jason knew about the coffee can money, likely through his mother Sarah mentioning it. He broke into Benny's house specifically to steal that cash.
Which explains the ransacked kitchen.
Perfectly. He was looking for the can. Then, they theorize, he accidentally woke Benny up during the break-in. A struggle ensued.
And Jason maybe panicking that Benny would identify him or call the police.
Stabbed him repeatedly to silence him. It connects the motive robbery with the extreme violence.
So what was the final outcome?
In 2022, Jason Shockley was convicted for both murders, Benny King and Gary Ballas.
And the sentence.
Life in prison. And importantly, Justin, Johnny, and Sarah Evans, all those initial suspects who were under intense scrutiny were completely cleared, ruled innocent.
Wow. What a journey. From that baffling first scene, the ransacked house, nothing stolen through this tangled web of suspects, accusations flying.
Yeah, brothers, the daughter, the friends.
A mysterious Hummer, the nickname Jaybird. And then finally, how these two separate brutal murders converged on one person.
It really shows how tiny details, a nickname overheard, a comment about a coffee can, a tense reaction to a caution can become absolutely crucial. Pieces of a much bigger, darker puzzle.
It really does.
And you know, this deep dive really underscores how vital critical thinking is in these situations. Connecting bits of information that seem totally separate at first glance, plus just sheer persistence from investigators. The truth, like you said, it was kind of hiding in plain sight, but it only came together when all those different perspectives, those overlooked details, were finally pieced together. It makes you think, doesn't it? How often might the real story behind something be hidden in those small details we usually ignore? What connections might we find if we really took the time to deep dive into the things around us?